Yo,
Hello, hello, hello.
hello. Wow. Pleasure to meet you, man.
Hello, it's a pleasure to
Yes,
be
sir.
here. Can you hear me nicely?
I think you sound great, actually. Sound great. Yeah, it's working great.
People don't give enough to these AirPods fucking things. Like they're pretty epic.
I
I'm
know.
like a boomer with these things, but they're good.
Yeah.
They're very, 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 very good.
So where are you located at?
Well, I prefer to not disclose for OPSEC reasons, if you don't mind.
Oh, absolutely.
Uh,
No, no. I'm uh
uh,
I'm a fool.
in a very beautiful place. In a very beautiful place.
Great, yeah. I'm the opposite.
Um,
Everybody knows exactly what neighborhood I live in which big city. It's not smart, to be
oh.
honest. Not smart.
I travel a lot, let's say, but let's say that mainly I'm based in Dubai.
Sure.
I've been in Dubai for many years now, but yeah, I'm always around. Let's say as long as I have an internet connection, it's all good.
Amazing.
So
Yeah, yeah. So where are you from originally? I think is your name like French?
no, Daniele, it's Italian. I'm from
Italian.
Italy.
Italian.
Yeah, I'm definitely Italian, very Italian.
I guess it.
French, I don't want to make anybody angry, but that's almost like it's a little bit
No, is that an
very,
insult?
very far away. Very
Oh.
far. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. But it's a little bit far away from being Italian and French. We are a little bit different, even though we love good food at the same way. Let's say.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
we do have a lot in common.
Sure.
Have
Yeah.
a lot in common.
Yeah.
It's a
So,
pleasure to be here. Has been a long time that I haven't done actually a stream with my camera on.
oh
It's
well.
been a very long time.
Oh, I'm honored. Thank you for joining with the camera. It always helps. You're talking about, or well, you're building a DeFAI project. I'm just curious why you chose DeFAI to enter.
I think it has a lot of history. I can go back in time, and it's almost like my homage to Mr. Andre Cronje, because I felt like the DeFi term has really started to be something when he deployed Yearn, that has been an inspiration for a lot of people on starting building DeFi back in the day, when there was only pretty much like what was in there. Like there was Compound. I don't know how long you've been around the business, but there was a Compound, that was the DeFi lending protocols
Well,
before Aave.
Compound's still around, right? It is.
Still around, is
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
I
they
don't
are.
know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's probably has billions sparked, but nobody cares. And then there was Compound, and there was DAI for sure. There was MakerDAO, and they started making a little strategies to loop and get the best yields and stuff like that. And that's where I felt like DeFi really started. And then we entered, let's say, the DeFi summer, when at the time all happened. And what was interesting to me with Yearn Finance was that for the first time there was somebody trying to optimize or to put together everything that was happening in decentralized finance, and route for people where funds should go based on optimization of those pools, so you could earn the best yield, let's say, and make it very, very simple for people to enter something, to join this new thing that was like, oh, fuck, I have some Ether. I could earn 4%, 5%, 10% a year out of it. That was something that before wasn't really clear to people, that you could lend here or do that or arbitrage the rates or do a lot of things. And
Wait, wait. So
with the
back, wait. So back then, were those optimizations already be like AI driven?
no, no, no,
Oh,
no.
okay,
It was
okay.
just DeFi as it was.
Yeah,
I'm going really back
yeah,
to
yeah.
get to the point on why we use the same term. That at the end, if you think about it, you can say Def AI, but to me, it still sounds like DeFi. right?
That's
Like,
right.
and
That's right.
that's the whole idea, because that is where it all started. With the DeFi started with that, with the concept of optimization. In my opinion, is where actually picked up with farming, right? With getting something more than the others, with having the intel, with knowing more than the others where to go or how to do things, or looping. I don't know if you remember, but that was the first sort of strategy in which you were borrowing one side and then borrowing again, putting it inside, and you were getting more and more out of your money. So you was borrowing, for example, DAI against the USDC, and that was also the first ramp for USDC to grow, because the demand of USDC was growing, because the yield of borrowing it against DAI and DAI borrowing against it kickstarted the acceleration of USDC in existence. And at the time, there was no USDT. There was absolutely no USDT in any of these protocols.
What
There was
year? What year
exclusive.
are you talking about?
Well, 2020, yeah,
Okay, I
2020.
didn't realize. I thought USDT was around in 2020. I'm not. I
No,
didn't.
it was
It
you.
was
It
around.
was around, but I'm talking about DeFi. It wasn't in DeFi
Okay.
at all. Like, there was
Wow.
no USDT on any lending market, zero. Like, it was something that started probably in 2022 to find the USDT in any lending protocol, because they started pushing audits or whatever that is, and they were showcasing that actually USDT was backed. But at the time, they were not releasing any sort of audit, so
For
the
sure.
risk
Yeah.
the risk component of Compound, Aave, and all of these places where you could loop stable coins was, I'm out of this, because it was an inherent risk for the protocol to take it as collateral, right? So
Okay.
the first push towards that was the DAI USDC looping. And it was the first real strategy on optimizing yield on stable coins. And when all of that happened, basically it propelled the USDC to be what it is today, and that is why actually still focused on is the easiest asset to bridge. If you think about it as a stablecoin, is the easiest
Oh,
that
100%.
you can move around, and all of that, because the nature of how USDC has grown was due to the demand of DeFi that was inherent of the existence of that coin into these protocols at
Okay.
the beginning.
Yeah, yeah. So I saw on the Hey Anon thing, you guys are optimizing yields on. It
Exactly.
seemed like you listed every EVM chain, right? So
Yeah.
is that basically what it's going to be doing? Where it's going to
Yes.
be
So
it's going
this
to be bridging for you even while you're staked. Is that true?
well, not only, like,
Okay.
that's
Okay.
where I wanted to say, I wanted to come to this point. So DeFi brought this idea that you could have an edge to find the yield farming and all of that, right? And that's where the actual DeFi term has been used to say, okay, I'm in DeFi. What I am a DeFi degen, like that kind of idea of a DeFi degen. What is that? Is that guy that was there, the super ultra keyboard warrior, finding the yields everywhere, farming everything, getting wrecked on Axe, and all of that, right? Like, full on. And how do we retranslate this into the future now, that at the time when I was building was impossible, is through Hey Anon, to DeFi, because we can empower people through the usage of artificial intelligence to find and execute things, any sort of strategy of yield, trading, anywhere around all the ecosystem of EVM and Solana and potentially more, to take that opportunity, just like Yearn Finance started to do at the time and started the DeFi era, or the DeFi summer. I want to showcase this to everybody functioning to kickstart the DeFi, the new DeFi era with AI,
So,
right?
there's so many different types of like
There's
ways you
so
can
much.
yield in DeFi. So
Millions.
how is AI gonna measure like risk tolerances and make those decisions
Yes.
for you?
This is a very deep topic, and I feel like a lot of people, if you want, we can discuss this specifically, because in reality, even though like the execution layer that I demonstrate and I demonstrate every day, and there is about 200 users now on beta, closed beta on Hey Anon that are using it every day. The execution layer of all of these is coming by the end of January as I finish up the web interface. So that is interesting, but maybe not as much. Like, like, okay, it can bridge, it can go there. But what people really want is, where should I go? Because the answer is there. I feel like the edge, it's really there, of who a lot of people will be trying to execute at a high level, especially when now that I'm explaining also a little bit more of the architecture that we use to be able to execute, right? A lot of people will try to replicate that. But the real component is merging it with defining the opportunity. I feel like that's where Hey Anon is shining as an ecosystem by itself, right?
So when it comes to execution, if you could touch on it for a second, what are the different things that you need the Hey Anon to be able to execute on chain? It's bridging, just give me
So how it works is the following. So currently, most of things out there function in different way. I haven't seen anybody posting actual transactions. No Griffin AI, or I haven't seen any of that actually interacting, but I'm sure they're doing it. But or for example, Wayfinder, that is doing very complicated stuff. But they have all different approaches. So the approaches to execution are many. One of them is, for example, using the full current agentic concept that is taking control of your computer as an application. Okay, so I think this is what Wayfinder is going.
Is that also what Claude is? Claude that, right?
Yes, exactly. Okay. Like the Claude style. So basically, you have the browser, and it just interacts with the browser for you, right? And this is one way to go about it, which, in my opinion, is not super great because it's prone to a lot of mistakes while doing it, especially if it's opening your own MetaMask. Imagine that. Send to I don't know. But it's cool. It's a great idea. Like, it's very cool, and it's very futuristic looking also. Imagine, like, it opens things, like, it looks fucking cool. The second way to do it is RAG based. So basically it's based on reasoning, and the LLM is choosing the way that interacts through reading documentation and trying to understand the blockchain, which is, I made an article about it, which is great for doing one single operation at the time. So if it's a simple operation, one logic step, the AI is great to do it. But when there is a lot of memory out of it, it starts to hallucinate. Every hop that it does more, it starts to hallucinate more and more, because the memory fucks his brain, basically. It's too much stuff to do. It just gets fucked a little bit.
Okay.
So it's where the others are showcasing single transaction logic. So they're showcasing, like, okay, X agent, buy me this shitcoin on Solana. It does it. Yeah, sure. This is very simple in reality to do. But the logic of saying, buy me this shitcoin, then put it on a lending market, extract USDC, bridge the USDC to this other chain, and purchase something else at the same time, so multi-transaction logic, it's absolutely impossible or very risky with this type of models. Okay. Then it comes that's why I made the first article on Hey Anon, the approach that we take, that is strict tooling. Basically, it means restricting the action that the LLM can do in certain specific prompts to very predetermined path of interaction.
So wait, I have a little question. So how predetermined does the path of interaction have to be? Are you building the bridge itself, or are you? Wow.
No. Well, I'm not bridging the build. No, I'm bridging. I'm building how it's supposed to interact with the smart contract of existing infrastructure, very specifically.
Okay.
So basically, and it's the worst approach in terms of budget, because it's the most expensive. basically, and it's the most intensive because we have a lot of developers to do it, but it's the safer because here we are talking about financial stuff. Like if it hallucinates on some data, and we will talk about that, it's not as important as if it hallucinates and sends it to a wrong address or does a transaction in a wrong way in which results into loss of funds for the user. So predetermined path, strict tooling, predetermined path to interact with protocols in a very specific way to avoid any type of interaction that is wrong. This is what we have built as with Hey Anon. And currently we support many protocols, and every day we are adding and testing more. What is happening with our stuff is specifically that. You constantly add, and add. Okay? And this is the whole idea behind this whole protocol in terms of execution layer. So it builds up to be basically the infrastructure that potentially all other agents, as we open it up, can use to interact with DeFi fully.
Sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
So then you have the second layer, that is the research layer, right? And yesterday I teased it. It's called Gemma for me, and the idea was coming from Gem, the Gem Hunters. So she is a Gem Hunter, but in reality, what Gemma is basically our take on how unstructured data should be presented to people in a very easy and actionable way. So what the team is doing currently is basically taking all sorts of unstructured data, the big data operation, and feed it into an LLM through modules that are of different types. Stop me if I'm getting too technical.
No, you're not. You're not. And actually, I think it's a little bit. I think it's a little bit weird. So this might be not even like a question specific to you, but I find it confusing. Like you say taking data, but it's a lot of it's a lot of like numbers, right, in the data, and you're saying feed it to an LLM, which is a language model.
With mod, yes. So basically, you need to think that an LLM by itself, it doesn't know everything, right? It can't know everything. And if you ask today to ChatGPT 4.0, for example, that everybody has, and you ask them like, what's the TVL of Aave today? It's not going to be able to.
Really?
No, it's not going to be able to tell you.
Wait,
if
what?
you ask 4.0, what is the TVL change on Aave in the last 24 hours, it's not going to be precise. It's not going to be able to tell you. Why?
Because
it doesn't know where to source.
Yeah. There's no LLM that can do this?
No, like the LLM is trained on data, and it requires tools to be able to fetch data. One tool that the LLM has, for example, 4.0, is a tool for web browsing, okay, web researching, okay, but it's restricted to certain type of actions that it can do on the web. So this is what the whole AI thing is coming to, right? It's building the tools that the LLM can access or interpret or feed into or research into to collect the right answer. Because by itself, it's not omniscient. It can't know everything.
Yeah.
And also it shouldn't be able to know everything, because if it needs to parse the entire web to find one solution, it's going to take forever for it to realize what is it, right? And what you build is these tools, and the logic on how to look into these tools, or the logic how to look into this data, is where it gets interesting, because you are basically teaching your GTP or your whatever that, listen, this is transaction data, but this is the format in which you should present it, and this is the way you should interpret all these amounts of numbers, the whales numbers, for example, the whale movers, or you should interpret the fact that a whale is dumping this token as a negative impact based on the TA or whatever. Like, there is all these concepts that you put together and to have an expectations of a better result.
So how much
And
of it is teaching the LLM how to research and find stuff, or are you directly saying, go to CoinMarketCap, go to fucking Whale Watchers, go to this website. This is the exact number that you want to pull. Like, is it, which one is it?
it's more like if user request Y, the right place to go to fetch it is Z.
Okay, sure. So very direct
Okay,
paths. That's like what you were saying.
very
Yeah.
direct.
Okay, yeah.
Very direct.
Yeah.
Because you want to, the more direct you are, obviously it's kind of generic in some way too, because the less generic you are, the better the result. Okay, like prompting is very specific also for that, because the better you are at prompting, the better result you get. But in reality, the better you are at creating tools that are possible to interpret properly from the LLM and retranslated in natural language, the better the result is going to be. So the two things go in line together. And more specifically, we take we take a lot of those concepts and we repackage all that unstructured data to be accessible for everybody to be reinterpreted and utilized. And that is where the magic happens, because then we don't know what happens into the interpretation after of that data together, because we do the path of where to find things, but then the whole interpretation that comes out of it potentially in the future, it's very interesting.
Wow.
In my personal opinion.
Okay,
right?
okay. So let's say you have 1,000 people using Hey Anon, and every day they're all asking it to pull data, right?
It's very expensive.
I'm assuming Hey Anon is like storing and kind of like conducting kind of evaluations and calculations to become sharper on its suggestions in the future. Is that what's happening?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, we are training the model that we are using at the end of the day too. So the path that is going to use, if you use OpenAI, for example, even today, you are teaching something to OpenAI too. So in some way you are, but you're actually teaching the model to go to search things in the same place, and eventually is always going to know that he needs to search things in that place, basically. Like it's going to be built in some way. But still, like, the real point is that without consolidated data, so without the work on big data and databases and storage and recall of that data and processing of that data before it gets fed or gets searched, there is absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Like there is no value. Okay.
Yeah. So is the goal to be it's not just executing the DeFi stuff. You said, well, I don't remember what word you used, but the goal is it'll find you optimal strategies.
Find and execute. Yes.
Find and execute optimal strategies. So how is it going to get to the point where it's finding and, well, I understand the execution, but how is it finding these optimal strategies for people?
So my approach is a bit specific to our application. It is my vision on how this works. But in my opinion, there is individualism of what is good for you and what is good for others. Okay? So by connecting and looking, it looks through your history of what was your convictions before. Because if you're searching for something, you might have had a certain type of thesis of investment, for example. What were your conviction plays? Where plays have resulted in the past in good results for you? What didn't result well for you, right? And you have by yourself already a profile of your history of what you like and what you don't like based on your actions on chain and off chain, right? Based on your social media interactions, based on your ticker that you have been shilling, okay, for a reason or for another, based on or the groups that you are at, etc., etc. And all of that generate what I call the Gemma score. The Gemma score is the first release that we're going to get, and here is alpha because nobody knows about this. But in a few days, we're going to release Gemma score out. and people will be able to claim their Gemma score. How good you have been of a trader, how good you have been as an investor, what is your history and risk profile. This is the step one of tailor-made solutions for people, for finding for people the right things, because shilling one thing to everybody is not going to result in good plays.
So it's gonna result. So it's gonna look at your previous transactions, like history.
Yes, wow. And also your social media presence.
Wow.
What have you been interacting with? What has sparked your attention? What have you commented to? What have you been looking forward to? Like these are the things, and based on your interest, based on your conviction, is where you can make it. Because you can make it only if you have conviction in your investments. If you don't have conviction in your investments, because a fucking bot told you to buy a shit coin, you're gonna sell it when it goes red. Like there is no fucking way that like, you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it can't be one for all. That is the difference architecture between the XBT bot. The XBT bot just shields. You understand? There is no conviction, no specialty. Like, there is only whatever is parsed through the social media, whatever is being shielded, and he doesn't know anything further than what he can find on the social media platform.
You're talking about AI 16Z or AI? You're talking about AI XBT?
Yeah, XBT.
I feel you.
Okay. Like, and it's normal.
Yeah.
Because it's cool. But the effect that it has is how can you parameter the actual value of a certain play if it's shielded? It looks like, if I look at the biggest shielder, whatever influencer, if they post a ticker, is gonna pump. How can I value that? Like, how can I really say that this was a good or a bad investment on a terms of like scaling a protocol to be able to suggest you a thesis of investment? Is it suggesting just to buy everything that Elon Musk is gonna post, swap the profile picture and you buy it? Yeah, sure. You can add that to the bot. I want to add that.
Wow.
If Elon Musk changes profile picture to a frog or whatever, he's gonna look at it, he's gonna find something, and he's gonna buy it for you. Like, and that's totally fine.
Wait,
the fastest everybody else.
The AI bot's like always running and always scanning.
Yeah, of course.
That's got to be a lot.
Because that's the data infrastructure. If you think about it, it's not the bot that is doing it. It's the data infrastructure behind it.
Yeah.
That then triggers alerts. Triggers something to happen based on your interest.
But that's got to be an unbelievable amount of data that you're taking in. It's got to be insanely expensive.
This is the reason why we raised $10 million in the ICO. Like, if you look at the past of my projects, I never raised money. Okay?
Sure.
I always did just LP, whatever. Yeah. But in this case, I want to give this for free to people.
Wow.
Because I want the first mover advantage. And I want millions of people in my platform by the end of 2025. And that is going to cost a shitload of money.
Yeah. It feels like 10 million. It feels like 10 million is not enough if you're doing it.
No, it's we calculated $3 million a month.
Okay. Oh, wow. Jeez. For how many users?
And I have for about 250,000 active users.
Wow. Okay, that's cheaper than I would have thought, actually. But still, that's amazing. $3 million.
Well, the infrastructure, like, the cool thing is that I'm going out actively right now with partnership to get that compute power that I need for free. Because we want to really change, like, the way that everything works. And the only way to do it is to give people for free. If you need to gatekeep for $100,000 a shitty, I don't know, because maybe a good terminal, nobody's gonna make it. Like, and that's the philosophy that I always had. Like, you need to democratize this stuff. Like, you need, but also at the same time, you democratize the stuff because you don't have an elitish bot that only say buy this, and for everybody the same. What we want is buy this because I know that you like meme coins, or buy this because I know that you are a DeFi player and I know that you like this type of protocols. Or go to these farms because I know that you like farming Ethereum loops or whatever, and this is the newer one. And I checked their GitHub. It's a clear fork of whatever Aave, so you have a go. This is what I want the people to be empowered with. Like, this is DeFi. Like, the new
Wow.
generation of allowing people to actually go and give them the tools to be able to realize what is the potential for every sector. Like, and that's what, like, also my article today I put out about decentralized autonomous organizations, because, like, everyone has their own ideas, and there is bubbles of people that have very similar conviction, and those people should be together in a way or in another, playing those convictions together. And as an abstract of community, in my opinion, community needs to go away from the brand and go into segments, like much larger communities. Like, if the segment and the thesis is we love meme coins, it can abstract to decentralized autonomous organizations that are interested only and exclusively on investing in low cap meme coins, for example. And then you need to, yeah, and it's super cool. And imagine if we, with the platform that we are doing, Gemma is not only useful to you, but it could be useful to a decentralized autonomous organization and interact with the collective of people of that decentralized autonomous organization to find opportunity for all of them, and then execute through Anon those opportunities in behalf of the decentralized autonomous organization. This is the future that I want to see.
Wow.
Put people into new collective based on their investments, but the only way you can do it is to design from the ground up. Not it's such a fucking lie to think that there is gonna be an AI that only wins trades. Fuck that. It's not possible. Like, it's bullshit.
Yeah. Wow.
It's either a self-fulfilling prophecy at the beginning. So like, okay, if I have enough users that are willing to buy something, it's gonna pump anyway. Yeah. But eventually, if there is no conviction into that play, there is no value into that play.
Yeah.
It's only a pump and dump, right?
Yeah.
But if you create from the ground up a researcher AI, which specifically is tailored to either tailor to the community or the collective interest of a specific DAO or a specific collective of people, or to the individual interest of one single wallet, then you have that revolution that you want. You are just have an extension of your own idea, because that's empowering. It's not empowering people is not telling you what you should think. It's giving you the books to learn who are you.
Wow. So that would be the AI or the LLM clustering groups of people based off of their interests and transaction data?
Yeah. Okay. And then search out of all the data that we give. So CoinGecko, DeFi Llama, Pump.fun, Whale Alert, Nansen, all of that, okay? All of that, social sentiment platforms and everything, extract what this collective or individual wants, and based on that, generate or feed the opportunities based on prompts. So it's saying, listen, because it's not just gonna send you something. Why would it? Like, the better way to go about it, this is my way to go about it. I don't know if it's the better, but I believe it's the better way, is you prompt it. Because maybe your portfolio now, it might be good enough. You understand? Like, for you, your portfolio at the moment, you have your conviction plays. Maybe you bought fucking Catcoin or AI 16Z, which is a meme coin too, or whatever. Yeah, and Zembro, Cerebro, and the Fart coin. Okay, maybe you're good with it, right? At the moment. But there might be a moment in which you are, okay, maybe I had enough gains. Okay, this is the universe that I imagine. Okay, I have enough gain on these specific coins. I'm looking to rotate. Okay, this is the right prompt that I want to respond and say, okay, Gemma, I'm ready to sell this coin. I would like to rotate into the same category because I think it has a still lag. But I would like to find something that is not over 100 million market cap. What would you suggest? This is interesting to me. And then it says, okay, there is this. And you say, okay, which one has had the best community sentiment in the last 7 days? Or which one has had the best mindshare growth in the last 6 days, 7 days?
Wow.
Okay?
Wow. So I have a question and something that concerns me about, let's say, if there's so many users using it. If it's looking at certain parameters, mind share, volume, different things, what if it gets to a point where it's suggesting a lot of the same tickers to a lot of people, and it just starts like almost making.
Self-fulfilling.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
that is exactly where I wanted to get.
You want it to self fulfill?
No,
Oh,
no,
oh, oh,
no.
okay.
I wanted to get to the point in suggestion. I feel like suggestion need to be earned in some way.
Got it, got
Like
it.
you arrived to. It's very unlikely, in general, that already that AI is gonna give you the same result for everybody, because everybody has different queries, okay, different prompts. So it's very unlikely, and also is a cluster of potential results, because honestly, dude, did you see in the last year, what the fuck, it's like what, 9 million fucking coins they launched just on Solana? I mean,
Yeah.
like I am absolutely concerned about it, and that's what I said about XBT, that is the reality of the self-fulfilling prophecy. So you post it and it pumps, which is stupid. That's why I think that it should not, at any absolute reason, just post random ticket. Not random, even if they're good. It's not good that the thing posts on social media something unless he's pretending, because then it pretends, and then everybody follows it just to catch the pump, and then it's gambling. It's not investing. What I'm trying to build is a tool to allow people to invest, not to gamble. That's a
Nice.
complete different thing,
Okay,
right?
sure. And the token Wagme is
But I
on.
agree,
Yeah,
like there is a point in which it could self-fulfill,
it
but
could, it could, yeah,
but
yeah, on accident
like
probably.
it's unfortunate, but at the same time, like a lot of plays are a self-fulfilling prophecy in some way. Like they just result into that because of that reason. Hopefully, like a lot of people reach the same common ticker because they have the same common interest, and then it's not really a self-fulfilling prophecy. Is just rerouting the right investor to the right ticker.
Sure,
then
exactly.
then it's not a trading. Like I would say that trading, it's a complete different thing than investing, right? Like you a trader or you investor? If you're searching for trades, it doesn't really matter.
Sure.
Like actually the self-fulfilling prophecy is better for a trader than anything.
Yeah, exactly. So wait, ticker Wagme is an ETH coin, right?
So Anon and Wagmi are two different
Oh,
things.
oh, oh. Okay, I thought Wagme was Anon, the Anon coin. No.
No. Anon coin is Anon. Wagmi is an exchange that I have
Okay.
that it's on other chains.
Okay. So is the Anon coin on ETH?
It's on Solana and ETH, both.
Where was it
It's
created?
trading. It was created on Sonic, but it's
Got it.
created as an OFT token, which is a layer 0 token. So it means that it's interoperable. So it's
Wow.
actually not, it doesn't matter where it was created. It's everywhere. So it's the most trading volume and the most LP is on Radium and on
Cool.
Base. So there is the first actually token that is trading on both AI based chains that are both Solana and Base.
Wow. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. Um, and why did you decide? Because I know like I didn't see Solana on the list of chains. Solana will be releasing later for Anon, correct?
Yeah, it's. I think we're gonna do it by the end of this month. Honestly, I
Sure,
wanna
sure.
release it. I wanna release it in the open beta. Uh, but let's see. It's just that the current Solana infrastructure in some way is less transparent than the Ethereum than the Ethereum in general. Infrastructure and smart contract
So it's
are not
harder. Is
as.
it harder to collect data then in that because
No,
it's
it's not about the data. It's harder to see if something is safe or not. I don't know how to explain. You understand what I mean?
yeah.
It's almost like you build the path, sure, but what about the risk management side of things? So how deep I'm gonna go into the Solana integration depends a lot on the trust that I have in certain protocols. So in reality, like for simple things like swapping, bridging, depositing, and opening, for example, a perp on Jupiter or things like that, easy. DCA or like buying based, price based limit order with the bot, easy. For even with multi-transaction logic, but for doing more complex stuff and hooks on more complex things like Meteora or doing, like more DG DeFi stuff, I'm still a little bit reserved at the moment.
Sure.
I'd rather focus more on the EVM side for now. And I also feel like the average user on Solana needs what I already told you. So it doesn't need more than that.
Yeah. And DeFi still lives on EVM, right? Most of the DeFi volume is
I
still
think
happening.
so.
Yeah, okay. I would have assumed that. So people are asking, how does the Anon token accrue value? What's the value
Yeah.
and the utility of the
So
Anon token?
I have a lot of ideas on this, but my main idea is people to be able to use the application to just need to stake $100 worth of Anon. That's my idea. Don't
Okay.
need to pay.
Okay.
Don't need to pay. I don't want them to pay.
And you could
Just
exit the
stake it.
staking anytime. You can unstake
Yes.
anytime. Okay.
So you can invest it and exit, which is great. I think it's a great model of value accrual, in my opinion. Because in reality, if you're good enough, people are going to stay there forever. And if even better, imagine you're using an app that actually is giving you money because maybe you stake $100 and it's worth $150 after a year. It's awesome. Instead of paying, you get rewarded on using it. And I feel
Wow.
like that is also a good way to make the community spread at the same time the application and say, yo, listen, this is a cool app. You can buy a little bit of that token. You can stake it, you use it, and maybe you make even some money.
Wow.
How cool is that?
How have I never heard of a project doing this? I feel like it's so obvious, right? Because if you get a million,
Isn't it obvious?
yeah, nobody's
it's
done
fucking
this,
the
right?
most fucking obvious. No, but it's
Wow.
like I don't understand why.
Wow.
Like it's the most obvious thing ever because
Yeah.
the two things that the people want in an application like this is you come because you want the internet and you're around to make money, right? Like if not, why the fuck are you in crypto? Go to the bank to Chase Bank. Everybody wants to make some fucking cash. Like it's obvious. So just put the two things together in a simple way, you will get a strong community that is holding your token and has motivation to use your application, a good token economics that take away circulation supply from the market.
Yeah. No, I
Win-win.
think the big part of it is you actually buy Anon if you think that the product is going to grow its user base. So if it has 1,000 users and you think, oh, this is going to go to 200,000 users, you actually would serve yourself to buy the token because people have to buy it after you to use it. So it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. So I'm curious about how the beta testing is going. Are there any like really interesting insights that you guys have learned? Are users like very profitable? How is it working out so far?
Well, it's been working great, honestly. Like I'm pretty shocked that we didn't have much of issues. Obviously, like integration wise is what we need to push the most because the more is integrated, the more people are gonna use it, right? Like I feel like there is a certain smart little things that I want to integrate for just create that virality from the beginning, like for example, there is very tedious type of things that and I engaged a lot with the community to ask like what is super tedious that you can't solve right now that you would like right away, so at least we do very solid use case from the beginning, right? And like for example, I don't know how EVM oriented you are, but I will do a EVM specific example here. Like for people that is around for a while, there is wallets that have a shitload of dust all over the place, like small amounts of shit coins everywhere, like in many chains, but added up, it's like a couple of good dinners, like, you know, like, like it's good airdrops that you never claimed. So created a trusted list of tokens that by approval, there is a lot of risk in approving tokens that you don't know. So we created a trusted token list, and then you can approve them. And this is one little features that then Anon is going to be able to sell all of them and send you the coin that you want. You want Sol, you will get the Sol out of all the dust that is around for you.
Wow.
And that's already like a super cool little thing that I think people will use a lot. And other things is, for example, for Solana specifically, check this Telegram group, and every contract address with a market cap lower than 1 million buy.
Wow. Okay.
The most degen fucking shit ever.
Yeah,
but people is gonna love it, you know. Buy like a 0.01 worth of Solana.
I think I think you'll be surprised, man. Like I think the more Solana shitcoin, low market cap stuff, I bet you'll get a lot of users using that.
Well, I would appreciate if you guys like tweet at me, even the listeners tweet at me and give me some fucking super degen use cases that you would love to see, and I'm gonna fucking add them because it's super fun. Like, let's make the beginning fun. Like, why not? And then as I grow with all the features that I want to release, then is eventual, like the domination is obvious.
Yeah.
But the point is give people some fun stuff to do, you know?
Yeah. People in chat have really good questions right now, so keep them coming. But someone is asking if Anon will be able to generate. How do you guys plan on generating revenue if all you need to do to use it is stake? Are you guys earning on fees for every transaction? Like, how are you guys gonna yield revenue?
At the moment, my point of view is total user acquisition. This is a pre-revenue idea.
Yeah.
Like if we think about revenue now, and usually I'm the most revenue-oriented person of any builder in DeFi. But in this moment, we are building a front-facing consumer product, so we go the Uber route without raising from VCs, but just doing it right and just to make it, you acquire the most users you can. Yeah. And honestly, there is an inherent value in the meme itself. So for now, that's what it is.
Of course. I mean, you mentioned that AI16Z is a meme coin, and I think that's a controversial thing to say. I would have to agree. People are just going to bid the coin if they think the project is cool. In the end, like, right, that's why we have layer 2 governance tokens. These layer 2s, like, they don't even need coins. But
pre-revenue stage, it's like this. Like, when we have 10 million users, guys, what the fuck? I mean, we can make it pay, yeah? Like, but the point is that the guys that invested are the token holders. So whoever, like, potentially you can make people pay with the token. There is so much we can do with the DAO and even open up a discussion. But first, we need to win.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like that's the point.
Do you think DEXs could integrate your tool, your LLM, your model as a chat widget pop up like on the main DEX website? Like,
yes.
Existing.
Yes.
So you partner with them and stuff. That'd be cool.
Yes, absolutely. Like, especially for this reason, like there is parts, like pretty much all of it actually, that it's prone to be an open architecture. So an open platform. So now we have Anon as an application that is a front-facing, but all the backend that has been developed, it's openable to create this kind of partnership, or even have other agents that are popping every day use this infrastructure to execute. So one of the problems that you have seen is that agents have ideas, but they don't buy into them, right? Like, imagine giving XBT the opportunity to be able to actually buy autonomously through Anon. Okay?
Yeah, that'd be
then
sick.
It needs to prove if it's good or not, right?
So are you talking to those teams as well, those AI agent teams? Are you talking to Shaw? Are you talking to the Virtuals founders about any of this stuff?
I did have a discussion with Shaw. And obviously, it's interesting because what they're trying, they're very focused on the side of, and he repeatedly said the DeFi for him was the killer application of AI agents. But on the other hand, they are super focused on the data side of things and understanding and optimizing this layer like Gemma is doing. And they are taking a different approach than me. So I'm super interested on seeing who is going to have the right. There is no right or wrong, but the faster approach. Because honestly, this thing is going to be won by the people that give it for free and it's good.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
Yeah.
Like everybody is greedy. Like it's greedy as fuck. This is such a greedy market that everybody wants you to pay for everything. I want the opposite. Because I think that at the end, the domination, it's about that. Like just allowing everybody to use tools and be amazed by them.
Yeah. Someone said it would be cool if after X amount of users stake, then price goes up. Yeah, so like if as the you said stake $100 to use the platform, so you would want to peg the use of it at a token amount, or would you peg the like being able to use it as at like the dollar amount? Like, would you try to keep
Dollar amount.
Dollar amount? Okay. I mean, 100 is really cheap in crypto for staking, and then you can pull it out. Super cheap, but it makes sense. Because,
dude, like you want the trench warrior, like you want to give it to the right people, like the people that want to make it. This is a tool for people that want to make it. Like it's not the tool for the giant DeFi king of my ass, like that knows how to stake $10 million. Who cares? Like you go put your $10 million where you want. You already know where you want to put them. Like obviously there might be some use cases of that, but I feel that the bigger use case of moving large amounts of fund comes into the integration with decentralized autonomous organization. So it's pulling 100,000 people with $100 together for doing certain actions rather than a single individual or institutional. Yeah. I'm doing this kind of stuff for the Anons. That's why Anon, not for the big guys.
So I don't know if you're familiar with this, but the trenches, the Solana trenches, the micro cap trades, it lives in Telegram groups.
That's why it's on Telegram.
So is it going to be a Telegram bot that I can put in my group?
If you look at my profile, I made also a lot of examples of me just screen sharing. And posted all the transactions, screen sharing, Anon doing transaction for me. As a matter of fact, the other day, just because I thought that Anon was dipping, I put 69,000 USDC and I asked Anon just buy $690 every 69 seconds of the token, and it did 100 transactions autonomously on Base buying Anon. Like, and you can see all of that in my profile. That's crazy. That's sick.
Wow.
And honestly, remember this. Now, for you guys on Solana, it's a bit easier. But on EVM, there is no limit orders. It's not easy. This thing was just hitting every 69 seconds. Like, there is on-chain transaction, just bam, 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 bam. It went for 2 hours just fucking hammering that LP. And that is the kind of stuff that you want. Like, I feel like this is the future. We live on Telegram. I live on Telegram too. Cool. Like, I come from the EVM trenches, which is, I come from the time when you get hacked all the time when you're doing any yield farming. Like, that was the old times of Ethereum. Like, you guys are just living a different epoch of the same thing. It's just, it was a meme too. Like, the fact that somebody is paying you 100,000 APR, it's a meme. Like, on a farm coin like, it was the same, man. Yeah. There's no real difference.
Would you integrate sniping coins into Anon? Because that's a huge thing right now, is sniping these
banana bot integrated.
Yeah, sniping these post-migration coins.
Yeah,
right
absolutely.
when they migrate off Pump Fund, you just got to get a snipe in, you know?
Easy. Wow. Easy.
This guy's saying, Dev bro, I think you're underestimating the amount of compute you're going to need to burn through with absolutely no revenue incoming. The math does not make sense.
I have partners that are paying also for some dev. they have computing power because the users are more valuable than compute chips.
Wow. Yeah, tell him, bro. Tell him. Exactly. That's a good point. You want it. Like, I mean, look at Uber. Like Uber has not. I don't even think it's profitable still, right? They weren't profitable for a decade because you want the users, then you figure out the profitability later. So, I think that's probably the
Chains
right way.
want users. A lot of chains has compute power.
Yup. The chains want users exactly because the higher that the TVL is, the higher the users are. It kind of helps them out. So yeah, that's a good point. I like that. I like that. All right, this was a super interesting conversation. Honestly, this is the first time I've talked about actual DeFi with like a OG DeFi person. I've never even. I've learned a lot today. I'm not gonna lie. Do you have anything you want to say to the audience? Um,
Well, um, I think that there is going to be a moment very soon in which we are going to democratize the access to tools. And that is, to me, an important moment. Because by democratizing access to tooling, so to allow people to do these snipes, how many, like, very specifically, like, there is always that edge that burns your ass. Like, somebody has that edge. Like, when you remove that edge, then the chance is increased for people who really spend their time there to try to make it, you know. Like, that's my opinion. Like, I'm tired of seeing people burned just because the people spend time to or have capital to deploy certain tools should be democratized, especially in this meta
Thank you.
in
Yeah.
which yeah.
No, that's been annoying me too. It's like you see these guys sniping these pump funds and they're sniping them with 500 soul. It's like, dude, I don't have the money to snipe anything with 500 soul even if I wanted to. And they're
Exactly.
almost like they're almost making these coins like with inorganic. They're making the coin inorganic. So yeah, in crypto especially there's a huge amount of stuff you can do when you have like
Crime.
mines.
There's a lot of crime. Like, at the end, like, there is a lot of people that just live off of this, which is like, is whatever. Like, we need to acknowledge the current state of things and build the tools that democratize access and at least allow people the fairest amount possible of chance.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's where you acquire the users. That's it. Like, there is no like, there is nothing else that can acquire users apart of that. That's
Cool.
my personal opinion.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, if you could send me a access link or something to try it out, I think it'd be sick.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I will
Thank you.
send you the beta.
Awesome.
Surprise.
And maybe like when you do the public release or in the future, more integrations, like we could have you back on and talk about that because this is
Please.
super cool.
I'm very happy to be here and to also show this newer generation of degens. How, if you want, one time we can talk about how degens looked like 5 years ago.
Yes.
Because it's quite funny. We had our own version of trenches.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's not that when Ethereum was at $500, it's like Solana now at 200. Like, it's
Wow.
it's all other story.
Wow.
A lot of stuff to talk about. It's
Yeah.
been a pleasure, and also it's a pleasure to meet you and all your guys. If you want any other question, just ping me, or if you want to pick up any other question, I'm here. I'm not not in a rush.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming on to my stream. You know, a lot of people think
Thank
I'm
you.
purely retarded. I think there's some mix, there's balance. You know. Maybe
I don't think so.
Maybe some right curve comes out. I don't know if you're familiar with my Twitter, but whatever. I kind of I fuck around. I do funny things. So yeah. But I appreciate you giving me the chance to have this conversation with you, man. Pleasure meeting you.